Hello, my wellness travelers. This is Dragonwolf, and this is the full moon in Leo, and this is also Imbolc, which is the Celtic Fire Festival, Bridget, goddess Bridget, as well as Saint Bridget and Candlemas. So this is the midpoint between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. So this is one of the Celtic Fire Festivals, and with my heritage of being a Celt, I definitely honor all of these changes of the season, and it also reflects our entire world. So at this time, and it also being a full moon, Leo, fire, so we got a lot of fire going on for this particular reading and at this particular time. And I've already pulled some cards, and also you will be hearing noises. I have a critter that has found its way into one of the walls near my apartment, and it happens, unfortunately. They can get in during how cold it can be. So if you hear noises, then it's just part of wildlife. It's part of nature. So it kind of matches, because this is a time of when the people used to, and they probably still do in the countryside, is that they would light big bonfires and they would run their animals through the two fires so that they can be purified, so that they can bring a new harvest of animals and be plentiful. And it's also for blessing the crops, and all of that matters to us, because that's how we live. We live by having to have animals and plants and different crops to eat. So this is a very important time, because spring is when, all of that really begins, but a lot of planting actually happens also in the wintertime. I'm not a person who is extremely knowledgeable about that, about the exact times, but there are times when you have to plant at certain times to make sure that certain harvests come to fruition before the next winter. So at this time, that's what we're doing. This is a time we have been in the winter. We still are, if you're in the northern hemisphere. And it has been, at least for me, and I know with the readings that I've been doing, it's been a time of reflection, pulling back, more hibernating, not going out as much. Even around the holidays, you socialize, but then there's also this quiet. Winter has a quietness that the other parts of the year do not have, and it is this crystallized energy. When you walk out, and it's quiet, and it has this crisp coldness. There's something about it that is just, and it just feels like everything stops. Everything is still. And so we are starting to move back. I mean, of course, the Yule is the longest night of the year. So since then, the light has been slowly coming back. But right now, we're already starting to see a little bit more, because it's been a little while. And we are moving towards spring, which is very exciting, of course. And we are coming out of that hibernation, not completely, but we're starting to make those steps. We are now in a place of manifesting. And of course, we're always manifesting. We're always wanting to continue to grow and to set new intentions, let go of the old. And that is exactly what we're doing. This hibernation winter time has been a time of making decisions, time of letting go of that which doesn't serve us, that has been trapping us, facing our fears so we can move forward, so we can be purified, to let go of what's holding us back so we can move forward. And that's exactly what the cards that I've already pulled are talking about. It is the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, come on. This is all about making choices, moving forward, karma, divine energy. This is like God being present. We are turn of the wheel. I mean, this is it. And we are at a time when it is really imperative that those decisions that we've been working on over the past couple of months, let's remember that. And you're at a point now, you have to make that decision, okay? Spirit slapped you in the face. Tell me it didn't happen. because even though I made my decision, I still was getting knocked around. This was very intense. What I was letting go, what you were letting go, what you were facing, what I was facing, and I still am, and you still are. It is now a time where we put the seed in the ground. It was cold. We had to kind of crust at the dirt to kind of get a little bit of a space so we can put the seed in and cover it back up. And now, even though it's still cold out, there's like a little bit of roots that are starting to pull down, right? And so that's what's happening with your decisions. That's what's happening right now, is there's a little bit of movement, a little bit of growth. And so the Wheel of Fortune is telling you, yeah, okay, you are making these choices, you're making these movements. They're slow, methodical, because remember, it is about being methodical, being logical. We have to be using our mind and our intuition and our higher self. So this was a combination of the two. We weren't shutting the door on either one of them. Everybody was coming together, because this is a full mind, body, spirit moment. All right, your higher self, the universe, the earth, everything. And so and at this time, I can just feel that energy movement. I can feel it. I can feel that going forward. I can feel it. Like my feet just want to start moving. It's cold outside. I don't want to move that far out to the outside, but I still am feeling that. So the interesting thing is that there is a duality here with the masculine and the feminine, which is actually present quite often in our world and in ourselves and in who we deal with. We all have masculine and feminine inside of us. That is what our world is. So with that, we're looking at the Empress. And so this is talking about mothering, nurturing. We're talking about our authentic self, our feminine self, but also from a place of strength, a place of knowing, a place of, I'm getting the word acceptance, but acceptance after working really hard to clear out. This is not a card. This is not a moment of uncertainty. This is a moment of certainty. This is a moment of, I am this person. I am doing this thing. And I will love myself and my space and those in my life, pets included. And I will be going forward into this new dawn. And that is one of the things that I have here. I am using a new oracle, and this is the new moon. And so the new dawn, but new moon. Okay, new moon energy, which means also too, interesting that came, because the moon shadow, we were in the cave, we're coming out of it. So the moon does highlight, but here's a new dawn. So we're coming out of the night, right? Even though the moon was in whatever phase it was during whatever time we were doing things for the past couple months with these decisions and moving forward and hibernating and dealing, and now we're in a new dawn. So the light is starting to show. So I mean, that energy is just right here smacking you. It's like, yes, we're doing it. I don't know if you feel it, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm just feeling that energy, and there's like this intensity. There's this, but it's not like this. It's an intensity, but it's soft. You know, it's like a warmth that is a slow rise. It's not like all of a sudden you get to 100 degrees from, standing at zero. No, it's like you're like a nice warm drink. It's just like, it's just warming you really slowly, but it's really there. And it's feeling really good. So here also we have the Ten of Pentacles. And with the Ten of Pentacles, we are looking at abundance. We're looking at prosperity. We're looking at the work coming to fruition. Okay, so before we were also, the things that were happening in the past couple months did affect us in our financial, our career, our education, our hobbies that were possibly even going to be turning into business. that type of world, creation. And so this is showing us that the feminine self going into prosperity. Okay, so what you've been working on, what you've been facing, what you have had to face, you now are seeing, you may not see the full prosperity, abundance yet, but there's wisps of it. There's like, you're seeing the seed with a little bit of the roots coming down, and that means that it's anchoring. Okay, we're anchoring. This is not something that is going to blow in the wind. It is anchoring, because this is going to be a huge tree. And then it's going to create its own seedlings that are going to fall. And then you're going to get more. And it's just, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, okay, so there's the animal. God saying through that animal, being crazy because they're trapped, all right? It's a very sad thing, and it does make me sad. However, there's nothing I can do. You call the people, the management, they call a person who's supposed to remove the animal humanely. It happens when it happens. So, in saying that, God's saying, hey, there was a little bit of noise there. Remember this. Remember that what you're doing right now is not, the seed has already been planted, but it's starting to grow. And that is going to really grow tall, and it's going to produce more. So all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're going to be in a full forest of abundance. I'm feeling as though it's like, it's slow. Let's not forget that. This is not a quick, but this is a steady, and it's true, and it's going to continue. So this is a long-term production, and that forest is going to continue to grow year after year. You're going to see, I'm getting, end of this year, you'll see some growth. Year 2, next year, it'll like double, triple. By year 5, this thing is blowing and going. This thing is whatever you are into, whatever you're doing, and this applies to me because I'm really excited about what this is saying about me as well, that you're going to see, you are going to be in a forest. It may not be as big as you may want it, but it's growing, which means it's going to continue to multiply year after year after year. We're talking decades. We're not talking about something that's going to grow and then it's going to peter out. No. And we're also looking at with the Queen of Cups. So this is really maximizing your intuition, your connection with the higher self, your emotional self, your creative self, but you're in a place of authority. You're in a place of certainty. You know. So if this is in the realm of education, that means that what you're doing is definitely going to pay off. If it is a hobby you're turning into a business, if it's a business you've already started, this thing is taking off. If this is a career that you're pouring into, possibly maybe looking to jump into a new career, possibly looking for promotion, whatever, it's going to pay off. But give it time. This is a slow growth that is strong. Those roots are going to be strong. So with that, the male aspect, and I'm getting, of course, sometimes I can't see it, 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups. This can be about illusion, fantasy, dreams. But what I'm feeling, and when I first saw this card, when I had pulled it, was I was seeing like the dream, the wishes, the wants, the fears, the doubts, all of it, like the whirling around and what we're talking about, and the decision you had to make, and the movement that's happening now, and the seed that you planted. There were like scales on your eyes. Okay, and it's how in our world today we have like those goggles we can put on and we can enter a virtual world. You were in an unrealistic place. You now have removed those scales. It was not easy. It was a little painful. Some of us, it was a lot more painful. Some of us, we went in kicking and screaming. Some of us said, well, I know, but I really don't want to because it's a little uncomfy. And we finally got out of our comfort zone. The scales have fallen off, which means the dream that you have been planting, that you've been working on, that you decided that you're moving forward on, that we're all talking about here, is definitely being seen with truth, with reality, with knowing. And then we have the King of Pentacles. So here we are. So this is the masculine energy, and the masculine energy coupled with the feminine energy, we're having a beautiful union here. That means that everything is in alignment. Now, the only thing about this is that with the Hanged Man, okay, there's still things left to see. It's not done. That is why there's a slow movement. Yes, you've got growth happening. Yes, you're on the way. Yes, the dream is real. However, it's slow. There's a reason. Because with many things that we create, we think we see all the angles. We think we know all of everything. We don't. And with this, if we allow our feminine side, our masculine side, our higher self to guide, okay, get out of that lower level physical earthly energy of it has to be this time, it has to be this much money, it has to be this way. Whatever that lower vibration energy is, kick it out, because that's going to put you back into the scales fell off. You're going to start building them back up. Don't do it. Just don't do it. So with that, the transition that we're in, hey baby, we're in the transition, and we are still needing to see some things. Allow yourself to see those things. You do not know everything, all right? And that includes me. And I've had, and God's had to get in my face a couple times, like, you're not understanding, you're not seeing it fully. And I'm like, but, and I'm like, no. And so I've had to put myself in check. God put me in check, let's be real. And I had to accept. And the acceptance is the real plan is vast. The real plan is at a height. You can't fully see it. You're here on the ground. It's so far up about all of its possibilities. You cannot see it. You can't even get a powerful telescope to see the full thing. And it is partly being shrouded from you on purpose, because our growth is still evolving with this. Therefore, if we saw everything, we couldn't really handle it. We could easily start throwing doubt and fear into it, because it's like, how can I have that? How is this possible? That's not right. Wait a minute, what? I'm not ready for that. Do I have those skills? Can I really do that? And see, then all of a sudden the doubt and all that mess starts coming in, and stop being you. Therefore, what you want to do is, here we go, guiding star. Look at that, guiding star. Allow yourself to allow the divine and your higher self, okay? Not the vessel that we're walking around in here on this lower plane. We're talking about your higher self. Your spirit is connected. Allow that to guide. Look to the stars, look to the heavens, look to the angels, look to your guides, look to yourself in your higher place. Do not be looking at you walking down here in your sweatpants and your little slippers, or running out to the grocery store, or running out in traffic trying to get your kids to school, or whatever else is going on. No, that's our mundane physical world. That is not what is happening here. Yes, everything is working here on this plane, obviously. However, this needs higher self on the regular. Because if you stay in your higher self, this thing is just going to boom. If you allow your lower vibration self, which also is part of our ego, okay, you allow that to start creeping in, and those scales will start coming back, all right? And then we're going to have to go through this whole thing, and you got to get smacked again by spirit. You got to then go through the process of, and it's going to feel like almost a repeat of what you just did. So be mindful. If your fears start coming up, that is a time, okay? That is a time when you want to do this. Reflective sunset, okay, which means sunset, which is at the end of the day, end of the full bright light. Sunset. We're sitting here. We're now about to move into night, which means reflect. See what has come up. Those fears, whatever they are, because we're in a human body in a physical world, and it is full of dark stuff trying to get in us, right? And we're walking around with some dark thoughts. Those fears, they're never going to not show up. Some of the stuff you've dealt with already, and it's a lot easier just to move it to the side. Some things are a lot more complicated. So then you also want to do self-reflection, okay? At the end of it all, you want to do at the end of the full light. At the end of it all, you want to come back and you want to look at those fears, because your fears are very important to tell you about you. You have to get rid of these. You have to overlook them. You have to not. Interesting. Okay, let's look at that. We don't shove them in the back, but overlook them. Interesting. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Overlook them. You have to face them, but you need to overlook it. It's almost like this a little pebble or a rock in your path, right? So you have to look to the other side of it. All right, so fear is something we need to face. We're here to deal with and accept it. Overlook it, meaning look at the other side of it. Okay, and you're not going to not break that pebble, that stone up in your pathway. Oh, you are. But you have to be able to believe on the other side is a truth, is a beautiful, wonderful, healing moment. Okay? So that's why overlook. It's always interesting when God has given me things that I'm just like, hold on, wait a minute, what did you just say? All right. And so with this being Imbolc as well, I asked about that specifically, like how is this affecting? And of course, we're getting fire. We're getting the Ace of Wands. So we got that fire. And the interesting thing about that, which is action, and we're getting the Two of Pentacles. So that is saying to me that the full moon in Leo, obviously fire, Celtic Fire Festival, here we go. And we got the male and we got the female, and we're looking at being balanced. We're looking at action. We're looking at intention. We're looking at facing. We're looking at going forward, because at the end of this, and we've already got the growth, but we have so much abundance. Now, the fun part about this is the Ten of Swords, okay? The Ten of Swords, which means you have been overwhelmed. You have hit the end. You have been put in the ground. You've been tired. You have been exhausted. You have just been put in the grave in a metaphorical sense. You have reached the end of that cycle. So do not, again, let's bring this card back up. Do not put them scales back up. All right. Know that you've reached the end of that, and we are moving forward. So we are coming out of the 8. Sorry, I sometimes forget which numbers belong to which. The 8 of Swords, and that is being trapped. And we're coming out of being trapped. What was holding us, what we've been facing, what we chose, what we got slapped in the face with, what we had to drop the scales on, and what we planted, which is now going to be producing, let's not forget that, is all about what this time is. I mean, we've got the King of Cups. So that also means that is a control, a harnessing, a honing of our emotions, our intuition, our higher self. We are in such a good space. And we are also having the Six of Wands. And with the Six of Wands, sorry, I had a little too low there. The Six of Wands, it's about getting back out. So that's also a beautiful thing to say here, because the spring, we're moving towards spring. We've been in a wintry hibernation kind of place, and then it's getting back out. So all this growth, all of what we've been doing, this movement is beautiful. It's wonderful, and it is looking fantastic. So what are we trying to say? What is one way to wrap this up for you? Because that was a lot, and it was great. Some things to keep your mind about, always and truly. So what is a way to end this out? The Hierophant. Okay. All right. So new knowledge, old knowledge, old wisdom. I'm feeling like this old world, ancestors, past life. This is a time of harnessing what has already been created in the past. So this would be something where you would want to do some work with your guides, ancestors, looking at your past lives, looking at the old world knowledge. And some of you, this is medical. Some of you, this is magic, spiritual. Some of you, this is research. This is, I almost feel like philosophy, theology, the mathematics, sciences. Things that have already been done, that you have either done or you are associated with ancestors that have done. Your guides that may need to be telling you something. This is tapping into knowledge that has already been done, so that this abundance, this movement can grow, but grow on a good foundation of what has already been done, seen, known. And then you are going to get new knowledge, new wisdom that you're going to step on top of. So that's just going to keep layering, right? And so with the Hierophant, the one thing that you do want to be mindful of, and it can be, is that this can be set ideas, set knowledge, set belief systems. That's not what we're talking about. Now, that's what's already been done, because it's been set, it's already been created, but you're writing the next chapter. You're adding the next book. You are paving a new pavement and way. And the animal's trying to say, you're scratching and clawing a new whole new place. I still feel so bad about that little animal traps. I really wish I could go and get it. Of course, that would scare me. I think it's a raccoon. Could be a raccoon or a small bear. I don't know. But because I think I heard it growling, and I don't think I've ever heard raccoons growl. But then again, I don't know. I've never been this in close proximity of them hanging with me, because they've been here now for 24 hours. It could be just one, it could be a family, I don't know, it could be some babies, I have no idea. But with the Hierophant, don't get trapped in a old thinking. It's already been done. Okay, I know everything now. Do I really need to tap into something that's already been, an ancestor, a past life, a guide? It's like, okay, so that's already been seen, it's already been done, there's nothing new. There is. So do not be trapped by that. And with that, happy full moon in Leo, Imbolc, Goddess Bridget, St. Bridget, Candlemas, Celtic Fire Festival. We are looking to the spring, and I'm so ready. And I thank you for watching. I thank you for subscribing. I thank you for checking out my website at kathyshannondesign.com. And I thank you for any future patronage that you may bestow upon me. I have services, artwork. I'm actually also starting to finally write my book series. I've been working on ideas and trying to craft that. So I don't know how long it's going to take me, but that is definitely going in the works. So thank you so much. I love you and look forward to seeing you next time.